today I came up with a ridiculous idea. I decided to hike up this mountain here. This is Pen y Fan. This is the the first highest mountain in all of southern Britain here in the UK. And I decided to do it just to test out this camera here that you're watching this on. This is the GoPro HERO 8 Black, the new one. With this one, this is the Osmo Pocket. And I just wanted to find out which one was the better for this type of vlogging out and about, and for just capturing general scenes like maybe a time lapse, a hyperlapse like probably you've just seen. Oh, problem is, I am not the guy I was 10 years ago when I left the British Army, so I kind of didn't anticipate exactly how difficult I was going to find this climb up here. That's the first problem. The second problem is I'm here to take a night shoot, so well, a sunset to be honest, and it's about an hour and a half to where I've got to right now from back of the car, and as soon as that sun goes down it's going to be black because there is no moon tonight. It's going to be a totally pitch black night, and I'm up here in the middle of the mountains. And the third biggest problem is being a bit out of practice with this stuff. As I just mentioned, I completely forgot to bring any water or any fluids or anything, and I'm a tad thirsty. Possibly I might be drinking some of this stuff. Yummy. So anyway, what I was thinking is hopefully for a sunset, if some of those clouds go in, I didn't want to get to the top of Pen y Fan up there. I was just thinking I will maybe that one over there. I believe that mountain, that pyramid shaped one, is called Corndu, so you might be able to get a good picture of that. This is for the 2020 cryptocurrency calendar that I'm doing. Or maybe sort of get this side light, maybe shoot into the sun. I don't know, I've got no idea exactly what I'm looking for, but yeah, we shall find out. And the audio you're listening to right now is obviously the audio on the GoPro. In a minute I'm going to be testing out the audio on this. It is a little bit windy up here. It's not too windy, so I've got on the wind noise reduction feature turned on here on the GoPro, so do let me know in the comments below if that's any good. I'm not too sure. So there's going to be no external microphones at all, which is what I'd normally be doing, but none of that today, just going purely with the GoPro and the audio here on this Pocket, Osmo Pocket, and we shall see, guys. We'll see how we get on. Sun's looking pretty good, it's getting lower, and hopefully we should get a good picture, because I need to get this calendar out pretty quick now. It's coming up to the end of the year, it's almost November, so I need to get a wiggle on, and this is the last one to do. So with a bit of luck, we're gonna be okay. It was super cold up that mountain. Anyway, what we've got coming up for you today is just a review between the GoPro and the Osmo Pocket. So we're going to take a look at some footage now of the Hyperlapse versus the GoPro Timewarp effect, and also some slow-mo as well. So this right here is the Osmo Pocket in its hyperlapse motion. Now, I was really disappointed in this. If you saw the video where I was using this in Butlins on a nice smooth level surface, it looked absolutely awesome. However, it's got this really up and down effect here, climbing the mountain on a very rocky ground. Look at that bumpiness there. It just looks terrible. I don't like that at all. This is now the GoPro. Look how smooth that is. It uses that digital stabilization. It just looks epic, or you could say hyper smooth. Okay, and now this is the Osmo in slow motion. It also, just like the GoPro, has 240 frames per second, so you can slow that video down up to about 8 times if you're usually shooting in 24 frames per second. And I do really like the slow motion coming out of the Osmo, but it really is super cropped in. When you compare that with what's coming out of the GoPro here, this was actually shot both holding the same cameras in the same hand, if that makes any sense. But yeah, just look how wide the GoPro is compared with what we had coming out of the Osmo. The problem with the GoPro though, with the slow motion, is it does use that digital stabilization again, and it is really jittery. We had the same when we were throwing Captain America down a waterfall in the last video, with that jittery effect in the ripples in the water. Here you can see it in the grass. And that sun is really bright today, you know. It's a bit of a weird thing to say, but a bit bright for taking a sunset. I did take a last couple of photos down by there. What you're listening to this on now is probably very windy. It's the Osmo Pocket this time. So I don't know if I move it around, if it's going to be less windy. Obviously it's not an action camera, so probably not really meant for this type of thing. But anyway, we'll see what it's like. How's that? Is that sort of cinematic awesomeness right there? Okay. But yeah, I do find this one very, very close in. I do prefer the GoPro. The GoPro is growing on me. I always did prefer this Osmo, but over the last couple of days, I'll be honest, the GoPro is slightly cutting ahead, and I think once it has the mods, which are coming out in a month or so, it could actually take the lead and be number one, but I don't know. I've not seen the footage. All I can see right now is my face. This is like full arm's length away. But that's the biggest problem with this Osmo. Way too close up, not wide enough. Anyway, take a look at this. Pretty good. How's the wind? Do let me know in the comments down below. It's quite windy up here, so this is the top of Penavan. That was a heck of a walk. Yeah, apologies again for the sound. I didn't take any microphones with me. As I said, I wanted to test out the thing. So anyway, what I was trying to say to you guys is that in my rush to take those photos for the sunset, I forgot almost to take the time-lapse comparison between the GoPro there and the Osmo Pocket, and in that I had to set up this rock to rest the Osmo on, because it just wouldn't sit on a rock on its own, particularly in the wind. It was very unstable because it doesn't come with any sort of stand. You can't even like put a tripod into it because there's no hole to screw a tripod in. So that was pretty annoying. But anyway, let's take a look at these time lapses. This is the Osmo. It's pretty dark. I don't know quite what was wrong with it, and because of the unstableness with it, it did end up actually falling over there at the end. The GoPro, sorry, is so easy to use. You just put it in time lapse, press go, and there it goes. However, it doesn't have that nice, cool motion lapse effect that the Osmo has, and I do really like that when I've got time to set it up correctly. Okay, so I don't know if you just noticed at the end of that time lapse with the Osmo, it actually fell over. So as you probably might hear with the wind, it is a bit windy now here. So we'll take the old GoPro and we'll head down, probably do a little bit of a night thing when it gets dark, just to see the low light of each camera. And yeah, it actually looks pretty nice out there right now. Very nice. I don't know if you can see that. The Osmo does have face tracking, so as I turn it, it just keeps looking at me, which is annoying if you don't want it to. So if I try quick snap, okay, that didn't really work. Anyway, let's get down there. Okay, so I'm about halfway down now, so just a little low light test here on the Osmo Pocket. It should, I think, be performing better because it supposedly does quite well in low light. And you can see the sun has well gone down now, and you'll have to, again, let me know in the comments what you think, whether or not this is actually good. It looks good on the screen, it looks quite bright, but maybe they've just raised the ISO so much just to sort of compensate for the darkness, and it's actually really grainy and I can't see that. So anyway, let's go ahead now and have a look at the GoPro. And this is the GoPro, and I got no idea, it is a little bit darker now than it was just then because it took a while. I was trying to turn it on to the low light setting, it just says NA on there, so I was trying to fiddle around trying to find how to put the low light on, but I couldn't actually work out how to do that. So I don't know, that's a bit weird. I do find the whole thing for switching around things on the GoPro a little bit more fiddly than I think it was on the GoPro 5 that I had before this. So yeah, this is pretty dark right now, so I will be impressed if this is actually looking anywhere near decent, and if you can even see my face. Maybe you can see my face now in the light. I don't know, it's getting pretty dark. It's well into evening now. One thing I will say though is this hill is a lot easier to walk down than it is up. I'm finding this quite relaxing now. See, I've got my new down jacket on as well. It's been pretty cold here lately. Get a new one. The last one I had before this actually lasted me for 20 years. I thought this one should last me another 20 until I'm about 60 odd. That'd be good. Anyway, now that it is a lot more lower dark, would you like to see the Osmo, to see how the Osmo would compare with this one? There we go, face tracking going all over the place there. Maybe it's something to do with the low light, but yeah, this is it on the Osmo. Again, still looks pretty good on the screen. Very impressed. I don't know how the GoPro was looking. The problem with the GoPro being I can't actually see the screen because as yet, until those mods come out, which are coming I believe in December, until then we can't actually see ourselves. No selfie screen. But yeah, look at that, it is super dark. I have to turn my head with the camera. Oh, and actually it's lost me, it's gone all over the place. Maybe that's the problem in the night time, it does lose you in the dark. Something to bear in mind. So yeah, in fact it's lost me again. There I am. There you go. Osmo Pocket, pretty good, but it seems to have a lot of trouble locking onto your face in low light. Okay, so that's enough from me here at Penavan, and the next time you'll see me is going to be back in the office once I've edited some of this footage. At the moment, I've got to say, for ease of use and kind of sturdiness, I'd have to go with the GoPro for outdoor adventuring like this rather than the Osmo. But we shall see once we get a look at the footage and take a look at what is actually decent. Yeah, we'll go with that. Okay, see you back there. Well guys, I have just had a little look through all of the footage here on the computer, and for me, I think that this GoPro is probably better than the Osmo. The Osmo does have some really great features, and I think in the right hands, for somebody that wants to do more sort of cinematic footage and just sort of taking them slow motion glides through with it on the gimbal there, it's probably going to be pretty useful. However, if you're just like a casual filmer that's trying to, like, you know, film yourself doing stuff, it's quite difficult. And the colors coming out of it, I think the colors coming out of this just straight out camera were fantastic. This I actually filmed in Cine D, so I did have to do some sort of color correction while editing it. I could have just not done it in Cine D, but I thought it'd be a bit more pro. However, you couldn't really do that much with the colors. You know, you're trying to raise the saturation and it just goes blurry. So, I'm not like super impressed. But this is still really, really good. I do like the Osmo Pocket. I'm not going to be selling it for sure. And I'm probably going to be getting some sort of housing for it really, really soon, so that you can put it onto a tripod, get it onto a stand, and then it's probably going to be a lot better than it is straight out the box. And that's one of the things with both of these cameras. I think that they're not great out of the box for you individually, but the really good news is they do come with lots of accessories that you can get for them to make them perfect for use. For me, I believe that both these companies, DJI and GoPro, have just kept costs down by giving you a really basic base model. But to really get the best out of these two cameras, you need to be buying some sort of accessories. Now, not everybody wants the same thing. This does come with some wireless module if you want to use it with your phone. That's not really of interest to me. And this is why these accessories are fantastic, because you can customize these cameras to your own taste, your own liking, for whatever it is that you need these cameras to do. So for that reason, I think these two little cameras are absolutely fantastic. However, for me, personally, I think the GoPro 8 is the winner for me. So please do let me know your thoughts on the footage down below in the comments. Again, I do apologize for the audio quality. However, at the end of the day, you know, this is the audio quality that you're going to get coming out of these cameras. Again, I think the GoPro, you would agree, had the better audio. And that is about it for this video. If you would like us to review any sort of accessories for the GoPro 8 or the Osmo Pocket, please let us know in the comments below. And of course, if you haven't subscribed yet, why? Why have you not subscribed yet? Do subscribe, and we shall see you again in the next video.